In today's video, I go over 10 easy tips and tricks to make you better at Hypixel Bridge. Most of these tricks are unknown by a lot of people in the community, so I thought it was important to put them in a video. If you guys do happen to enjoy this video, please make sure to subscribe. That would mean the world to me. And huge thanks to Swrz for helping me with these example clips. Make sure to go subscribe to him. Links will be down in the description below. So for the first trick, it is on Treehouse, and it actually is what I call the Treehouse camp spot, because you can go here, and the only way if someone's up here defending is you can crit them out here, because even though it's a half slab, you can still jump and crit here. You can block them off here, and you can actually place blocks all the way down here. You can't place past here, but you can place like here, and if they have a hippo, you can just run around right here, mine their hippo. Let's just say they have like a hippo right here, right? You can mine in through here, walk into the goal room, score, do whatever you want. Or even if you're down here, just camping, and let's say someone's above you, right? You kill them, block this off. You can actually bridge out this way, build up here. If someone's up there, you can mine back down. You can even build like a little system here with like a head hitter and stuff, and then just build this around. Just add development all around, go back down here. If you want to, you can even connect it to the other side like this. Go back up here, and once you're here, you have a wall behind you, you're in a head hitter, you literally pretty much can't be killed, and it gives you time to gap, because if you go back into that spot and you block yourself off, you have like pretty much infinite time to gap, and it's just super OP. And I haven't seen like anyone else use this strategy at all, but in doubles especially, and even in solos, it is one of the most useful tricks I've found recently. Oh, and here is the example clip. Alright, so the next trick on this list is actually on Chronon, and Chronon is known for a lot of different tricks that you can use. One here is you can actually just bypass down here, build a head hitter, and same thing here. But in a lot of more sweaty, competitive bridge games, the other team will hippo, especially in doubles and stuff. So you can't really juke the other opponent out by like going here and stuff, because then they'll just push you, and it's easier for the opponent to defend. But what you can do is build like a head hitter and just develop your like area down here. And once they start pushing you, you can actually just go up. And normally they'll have either 1 or 2 people in goal room. And once you're here, you're in a really good scenario. Either they'll void and you can just run in the goal, or you can sit here, gap up here. But normally they'll be right here defending. Either you can just walk in directly from here if they're standing over there, or if they stand right here to defend you, all you have to do is just hit them once and they'll be knocked back into the goal. Like if you're here trying to defend, all you have to do is just be hit once and you're in the goal. So if you're rushing, you come back here, just hit them. Worst comes to worst, you just have to go back here, gap up, and there's so much space here. Even if you get hit, you won't be hit far enough back to actually go into the void. So it's like 100% score rate if you're able to get back here. And this has actually been known for a while, this trick, but not a lot of people use it anymore. So yeah, I haven't really seen anyone use it much. So I wanted to bring it up just as like a little reminder, saying, hey, like it's still here, because it still works very well, and a lot of people have kind of forgotten about it.
Show love, I'ma show it back. If the catch is too small, I'ma throw it back. I've done a lot, but I ain't got a lot to show for that. Alright, yeah, let's do that again. If they show love.
This next trick is on Outpost, which is a newer map made by a lot of PremQ members in collaboration with Hypixel to try to make a good competitive map. And a lot of people do like it for doubles and fours with like sweaty competitive games. But this absolutely blew me away when I found it, because this is a competitive map, but this is broken. Basically, you can build so much platform under here. Alright, so I fell down here one time and I started building and I realized how much space you could build. And you can build this whole entire platform. Like, this is the amount of space you have to place blocks. And here's like the outline of where you can't place, like, you can place plaster. But you can like build different things, like build out here and build up here. Go to the platforms, go across back here, go back down here, block this off down here if someone's following you, or run this way, build different things over here. If you wanted to go up to like this thing, go back this way, go here. You can even like go up over here. Another thing you can do is if you're down here, you can like go this way. If someone's following you, you can just block them off right here. And it's really easy since there's these platforms here. If they drop down here to follow, you can go down here. You can even build head hitters here. Block this off like I mentioned before. But you can also go down right here, block this off right here. And then you're mining in their Hippo. And you can even go like higher than this if you want to. Like up here. And then you have height on them. Or if you want to, all the way down here, just go all the way up to this point. So there's a lot you can do. And obviously in a bridge game, normally you wouldn't build a platform like this. So in the example clip, you'll see I didn't build that much, but you can develop it down here a little bit and bridge out in small spaces that you need. This is giving you an example of how much space you actually have to bridge down here and do different things.
I think it's time my life is enhanced. Teach me all about fashion. Let's go buy me some pants. There might be a chance that I finally find some romance with the fly little mommy who invites me to dance. Come on. So if she shows.
So this next trick is actually one of my favorite because it's super simple and it's actually one of the most useful ones. But pretty much the whole point of the trick to work is for the opponent to drop down in the goal room and kind of juke them out. So one way you can do that is just by placing these blocks here and mine in the Hippo and just like do the head hitter a few times. Try to get them to drop down here. And most of the time people don't aggro you. They'll just sit there with a bow shot, like waiting for you to run out so they can kill you. But majority of the time they don't aggro, but if they do, you can just block them off here. And then you want to go up right here. And once you're up here, just run up the staircase. And there's a little block here. You can just jump down here. And it has a wall behind you. So you literally can't be comboed. You just block it, spam here if they're right there. Fight them. And you won't lose the PvP fight because they have all this space around you. Like if someone's sitting here, it's pretty much impossible to beat them in a PvP fight. Like you can just hit them here, bow them. If they're hiding around here and not pushing you, you can kind of just juke them out, try to get them to come out. And about 95% of the time, I would say you win the PvP fight. So there's no point in really risking it by just taking the PvP fight. Just play it safe, stand here, and hit them. You'll win most of your PvP fights and get the goal. Alright, so for this next trick, it's on Fortress, and this one is pretty straightforward. You pretty much just place a block here and go around. And normally people would take a PvP fight here, and they may win, they may lose, but it doesn't guarantee a goal. But if you go back here, it literally guarantees you a goal every time, unless you mess up. But if you can like consistently like not just fall into the void, you'll be chilling. But if the opponent goes this side, you go this way. It's just ring around the Rosie, and just the main goal is to not get hit by your opponent. And you can actually jump across here really easily and go just across here. So try to stay as far away as your opponent as possible and just don't get hit, and you'll be fine because eventually they'll just mess up. They'll drop down there or something and they'll fall, and then you can just run in then and you'll be fine. Get the goal. Alright, so this next trick is also on Fortress, and you can kind of combine the last one with this one, but this one is quite separate. If you drop down here to like the lowest point or pretty low to bypass, you can actually build up here, just create a lot of development, and you can connect it with this part here. So you can also like build it here, build like a little platform, do the same on this side, and pretty much just like this, you can just go either side. And what you can do is, if you want, like just like build like a little head hitter here, go back and forth. The opponent goes behind you, just block this off, and you can like run up the stairs, do what I mentioned with the last trick, combine them like I just said a second ago. Or if you want to just go back this way, go up here, mine through the hippo, you can do that. Or you can just go back around this way. It just gives you loads more options. Go low, go high, and if they end up like patching this down here, you can just drop down, mine it through again, or you can just build up here, and it's just hard for them to keep track of where you are, and it gives you infinite options to score. Alright, so this next trick is on Urban, and this one is not known by a lot of people, which surprised me because this is the best and the most popular bridge map. But if you drop down for a low bypass, you can actually just bridge out here, because on Urban, there's this little section with a half slap head hitter, which is a little bit slower than actual head hitter, but you can still like kind of do it. But this actually makes Urban like insanely broken. You can't really use this that well in solos and modes like that, but it's just stupid overpowered in doubles and fours. But one thing you can do, this is super overpowered if you want, you can go up here, just place blocks here and go in for the goal, take a PvP fight if you want. You can drop back down here if someone's behind you. You can just block this off and then go right here. If someone's following you, you can go back this way. And it's just super crazy. This is one of the craziest things I discovered recently, and I'll definitely be using it in doubles and fours. Alright, you may be thinking this next trick is very lame, which it probably is, but it is one of the most important ones when it comes to a competitive bridge, and it's literally just hippoing faster. Now, you may be like, I don't want to spend 10 hours a day trying to save a few milliseconds, and actually this way, you don't have to spend a lot of time doing it. It's just a different form of hippoing, and you don't really have to optimize your timing or anything to get faster at it. It's just hippoing a different way than a lot of people do. So the standard way of hippoing that I see most people do, and what I used to do, is you place blocks like this. And whatever I do on this side, just like a mirror on that side, it's like the same exact thing. But you basically place blocks like this on your head, and then you would place these blocks here and fill it in. And now this is a 2-layer hippo. Some people would do a 3-layer hippo. This is a good hippo. It's a solid hippo, but it just takes a while, and that's the problem. And the extra few seconds you save with like the version I use is insanely important. Now, in slow motion version of what I do, step by step, first you want to start on the left hippo. This is easier. And by the way, this hippo is the same on Sorcery, this map, Boo, and Fortress. It's all the same on each map, so I don't really have to go on those maps and show you. But this map, I'm just gonna show you the example on. But you jump down here, place blocks here, and fill in your head like this. And then, instead of going here, placing blocks like this, you place a layer here, like this. Go, like, come out this this far, and then you place 4 blocks here. So it's like a 2x2 right here. And then you just fill in this 2x2 here. And look, you have a 3 white hippo, and then you go on this side, and after you fill in that hippo, you just continue placing blocks right here, and then you place blocks, you look up, place blocks here, swap the stack of blocks you're doing. Make sure that you don't run out of blocks in that stack, because that'll slow you down a little bit. And you fill it on this side, And then you go this way, do the same thing. Fill in 1 layer here, 4 stack here, and then boom, you're done. So in quick motion form, it looks something like this. And as you can see, it's a full hippo. Now it may look a little scuffed. It's not pretty, I know, but it's literally the same exact hippo, like a lot faster. Normally I don't mess this up. 1 or 2 blocks you mess up doesn't really matter, but it's the extra few seconds you save is way more important than that. But yeah, that's how you hippo faster. And I'll put up a side-by-side clip of the 2 next to each other so you can actually see the time difference between the 2. All right, so in the last trick, I showed you guys how to hippo fast, and this is kind of like a part 2 of that trick. This goes along with that last one. So at the start of the game, right, you hippo, and you save all your time now because you know how to hippo a lot faster. And because of that, you get a head start on your opponent, right? So let's say you just finished hippoing. Now, normally what people would do is void to get more blocks because they're low on blocks. Some people would start bypassing here to block off their bypass, and they would waste all their blocks, so they would just get hit off and not have any more blocks left to clutch with or to do anything with. But the right thing to do, and this is very important, you want to build up, stack up around the midway point like this, with the rest of your blocks you have, and then you want to speed bridge on top. Now, around the time you're here, they'll just have finished their hippo, and they're in a really bad spot here. They have 2 options. Because they're finished hippoing, right? They don't have enough time to go mine into their goal room and defend that way. They're forced to either void and defend up here, in which when they void, you jump down and are able to mine in their hippo. Or if they stay down there to defend you thinking you're gonna drop, you can just bridge over them and go in their goal room and score. So having that extra few seconds from the previous trick to get this head start gives you massive advantage over your teammate and gives you such a good start compared to them. So it saves you extra time, you have a good hippo, and yeah, it all works out really well. All right, so for the last trick, this one is less of a trick and more of just like a warning or something for you to like learn from if you do this a lot, because I still see so many people do this one thing so much, and it does trigger me because if you don't do it, it can save you from losing so many games and just help you win more. But it's the normal, like, or you drop down or act like you're dropping down, you jump and then you fake and place 2 blocks to hopefully juke your opponent down to where they'll fall down and you're on the bridge still, and just juke them out. But the funny part is it hasn't worked for the last like year. Like 99% of the time it won't work, and what will happen is you'll just be standing here and either your opponent will hit you off and you'll die, or you'll miss it and fall down and most likely go into the void or just die. So it never really goes well. And this goes for the case of so many other jukes as well that are overused. And yeah, the way to counter this, you may be like, okay, then what do I do to juke people out? Because otherwise I just die. Just try creating your own jukes as you go. That's just kind of what I discovered. You have to be creative. Like recently, some people started doing the juke where they would be here and like gap up, and then someone would mine through the hippo and you just walk through the player. That's like a newer juke that people discovered, and it actually works. But I guarantee you, like, it doesn't work as well as like as it did when people like first discovered it. And so just kind of create your own jukes as you go, and don't do overused ones like this, because I promise you, you will die, it won't work out well, and it's not worth it. So yeah, just don't do overused jukes.